excited that we are here with y'all today. We're back. I know y'all think I'm weird, but it's okay. We are, who are we? We are Tikisha Michelle. Yes, and we are here with Dr. Ada. Yes, indeed. We are here talking to you all about parent empowerment for everyday living. We have not had the opportunity to be with you in about, a week? About a week. Yeah. Because we come to y'all live every other week right here on Facebook. And today, get excited, y'all. Today, we're even on Instagram. Woo!
That's my platform of choice, but
that is? Okay, that's okay. No, that's cool. Listen, we're leveling up here because until we get a sponsor, look, we're going to deal with what Tikisha Michelle knows. And we're just going to keep it moving because Instagram is. So we're on Tikisha Michelle _EIO right now because that's our Education Inside Out link, I guess we'll say, until we make another one for Leo. And come in here. So right now that's where we are. And then next week, and any other time you need some tools you can use, you can go check us out at Tikisha Michelle EDU Inside Out on YouTube. And there's so much information. Y'all know what? I checked out and I have been doing content, sharing tools that parents could use since like 2017, 2018.
Wow.
Yeah, some of the videos are like really good because I got the lighting just right, and some of the videos is really like, oh, maybe I should take it down. But I haven't decided to do that yet because it's still some really good information. Yeah. And I think it's really important that parents have tools they can use so that they can ensure the success of their children, because that's what we're all about. That's all we want to do. We want to make sure that we give you parent empowerment for everyday living. We're going to start off today. You know, we've been talking about parents being actively involved, right? We've been talking about disciplining behaviors. And I don't know if y'all saw it. Did y'all see the what I posted earlier today about the little girl and her parents? And she was arguing with them about whether or not to include the number 4 before the number 5. Y'all, that joke was funny to me. But it was like perfect because that's proper and positive. That's what we do. That's how you discipline. They were disciplining. They were properly and positively ensuring the success of their daughter. They allowed for the banter, but they made sure that they corrected her. It wasn't just, it's cute, 1, 2, 3, 5. They didn't do that. And we've been doing some research. So today we're going to go a little bit further. You see the title is, what is the title?
Why? Or what are you allowing?
What are you allowing?
And why
do you continue to allow it?
Continue.
Yeah, like you already know. You know, Leo, you're not in our IG shot. So you know some things are happening. Just like they knew she was not saying the number 4. They knew she knew it, but they made sure that she knew it. And that was it was a big deal. And so I want to say to y'all, you know, we've been doing this research and everything. And what we know sometimes is that people allow things because of how they feel. Right? Memories that they have, their own issues. And people talk about that a lot. They talk about this thing called ACEs. Don't worry, we are not going to discuss the ACEs. Some of you know what that's all about. But it's because of some things that you've gone through that's making you allow. That's not the sole reason, but that is a reason. And we should never live in the pain. I just want to, we have some pain places. Okay. Right? And we shouldn't live in those pain places. We have to learn to process those for ourselves as parents so that we can properly and positively ensure the success of our children. Because if we are living in those pain places, our children are going to be a manifestation of our pain.
So some of those things we allow, is it because of fear, because we're scared, or we're scared to correct it?
Did you read that research? Indeed. Oftentimes we are fearful.
But scared to correct it, but why scared to correct it?
What did we have to go through? When I say we, I mean
Yes.
That's a collective.
you,
Yeah.
us, and I'm gonna stop because that camera is like, will you stop it? What did we have to go through? What did parents have to go through? I know I read some examples of if you were the attention given to your behavior. And some parents respond to behaviors, they respond to them differently. But if you respond to negative behavior, and I think we addressed this a while back.
Yeah.
If you respond to negative behaviors, and that's the only time you respond to your child,
Yeah.
what are they going to do? They're going to always
Behave poorly.
behave
Get your
poorly.
attention.
Exactly, because that's what they want. They want you. They want your attention. They want you to pay them some attention, to be involved in their lives, in what's going on with them. What is it about you that is preventing you from being actively involved in their lives and paying attention? There was another example, and I could see this as I read it. It was painted so clearly about how parents they hear their child fuss at them, argue or yell or roll their eyes, and for them they're like, I'm not going to respond.
Okay.
Not responding is still responding.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because what you allow, see, let me make sure I say it right. So you teach people how to treat you, and then you get upset when they learn their lesson. So if you don't have standards or non-negotiables, then that's what you allow. Whether you address it verbally or whether you don't address it at all. Is what you're allowing.
Yeah.
What we allow as people allow.
Yeah.
Parents, what are you allowing? What have you allowed up until now? I've always told you, just because you've allowed it up until hearing it today doesn't mean it's over. You can start now.
It's not too late.
It's never too late to start again, unless you're no longer alive.
And to go back to the scripture we said, Proverbs 22:6, train up a child.
Yep.
Train up a child while they're young. When they grow old, they won't depart. So what does training look like?
In your house. What does it look like? Do you allow for the rolling of the eyes? Do you allow for the comebacks, the talk? And some people think, well, I'm just gonna have that's how I build a relationship.
What if you don't allow it? You don't like the way your child is behaving, but you've only been taught to handle it one way, and your child is not responding.
Shift.
Pivot.
Yes.
New information.
Try something different.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Don't force your style of discipline. Okay.
Right. And even if it worked for you, or even if it didn't work for you, and some people, it didn't work for you. You know it. You know that it caused you a pain that's forcing you to put that on your child or children now.
Yeah.
Well, why would you continue such a thing? Just because it's familiar
Doesn't mean it's right.
doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah.
And I heard something today that sometimes we're only doing what we know, what our parents did, but sometimes we have to get some new information, do some research, talk with people.
Like us.
I think that's why we're here, because I know within our generation, a lot of us were raised a certain way, and you just continue that because that's all you know. However, the kids of today were not what we were.
Amen.
They've been exposed to different things, and so you need to figure out what best way to communicate to your child the boundaries you need them to follow.
And even what you just said, they've been exposed to certain things.
Yeah. Way more than what we.
Why?
Yeah.
Is my question.
Yeah.
Why? Because I remember growing up being 13 and I wanted to go do things. And mom was like, no, it's not time yet. If I let you do it now, when you get to that age, you're not going to enjoy it. It's not going to mean as much to you when you're 16 if you do the 16-year-old things while you're 13.
I mean, you're not mentally ready for a lot of these things. You're not mature enough, right?
Come on, the topic. Come on. Yeah.
Y'all, but so I put in front of you still. Why? Why are you allowing these things? Did, just because somebody put it in front of you and they said drink it,
Mm.
does it make sense to drink it? And then when our children don't respond in the manner in which, actually I have a pen because I have thoughts and then I forget my thought because I have this structure thing, but structure doesn't really work for us because my brain is steady firing,
It's firing.
and I forgot the last thought, but it's okay. So we put things in front of, things have been put in front of us or were put in front of us as children,
Yes.
right? And then we need to grow our children in the world that we live in today. So you said they've been exposed to some things.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to allow them to be exposed to the things.
Yeah.
Was it easy just to allow it to be a part, to be like the Joneses or whoever you want to call them today? Back in the day, it was the Joneses.
Joneses.
Yeah.
It's still Joneses. I
It's
guess.
still the Joneses?
I think
Okay.
so.
All
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
But we're older. You're older. Are you more mature though?
Mm.
What are you holding on to? What is preventing you from making changes? So I put in front of you the thought that school is, gosh, many people are about to the end, right?
Yes.
They're more than halfway through. Oh, you don't know, sorry. I looked at her like, right? And she's like, many of you are halfway through your first quarter of school. You know, I put in front of you, have you talked to the teacher?
Mm.
Have you gotten messages and you really just are not dealing with the situation? Why don't you deal with the situation?
That's a good question. Clinically, what I've seen a lot of parents are stressed out in their own personal lives.
Mm.
You know, whether it's their relationships with their spouses, with work, with family. It seemingly appears that they don't even have the capacity to then handle and train their children.
Let me touch that. Hold on. I don't have a pen, but let me touch this right quick. The capacity.
Yeah.
Why are you lacking the capacity? Let's go going on in the world, but
We're
back. Facebook, thanks
We've been
Instagram.
there.
Yes. So we're about to transition over to the fact that hold on. Leo has something.
Man, because I think, I know we got some other stuff to go over too, but I think we just need to sit here for like maybe 3 to 5 more minutes. If we can, 3 to 5, 3 to 5.
What you got? What you got, Leo?
Yes.
So, I read the word spiritual man.
Yeah.
But I think of when I was a child, I spoke as a child and I understood as a child. But when I became a man, that's universal. I put away childish things. So it seems as if we're getting into our adulthood and we're not dealing with our childhood hurt, traumas, and certain stuff we went through. We're not getting the proper assistance.
Yeah.
And then how can we be any good to those we're raising up? And then when you said something about I'm paraphrasing, we're having children out of our pain place and having a great time, and now a child is here, and now can't co-parent well. The man is mad at the female is mad at the man, the child is impacted by that.
Yeah.
There's no accountability, and just not getting proper. Because we see it.
We see it,
with
right?
children in the neighborhoods, in our communities, in our schools,
offices.
Yeah.
Because you can watch them even come in, and you can watch a child just spin. Because Dr. Ada has a play place in her office, right? Mm-hmm. And she can hear and see all of the different things that happen, just like we hear and see it in a classroom a little bit differently. She gets to hear it while working, right?
Yes.
So just almost identical, I'm going to say, to when you walk through the store and you hear a parent engage with their child.
And it's like,
right, and you see how she snapped that good old neck? Yes.
Now wait to ask questions because
look.
this very thing happened over the last 2 days. Right?
Okay.
Had a kiddo I'm working on, one parent, and kiddo comes in to watch, and he's in a completely different mood, slump. And so I'm working on parent, and I look over to kiddo and I said, "What's going on?" And he was like, "Not feeling good. No, what's going on?" And the mom in me, right, but the emotional person in me, what happened at school today? Did somebody hurt you?
I love that.
Yes.
Come on.
Was it physical or mental? Both. And parent that's laying there is just like, no.
No engagement.
And so I'm pulling all of this stuff out of the kiddo. Come to find out, there's some bullying going on. His supposed best friend is not treating him well, and parent has no reaction to what the child is saying. No, oh my gosh, thank you for saying this. We need to get to the bottom of this. And in fact, it was almost a dismissal of what his child was saying.
And the parent normalized it.
Normalized
What's abnormal has become normal. Like, that's just what he does.
And I told the little dude, I said, just so you know, a good friend would never do that to you. He looked at me like, oh, I gave him a hug.
Come on,
The
Dr.
very next day,
Yeah.
and I noticed his behavior was just not himself. The very next day, he comes in with the other parent, and I said, hey parent, I need to discuss this with you. And she says, oh my gosh, my former partner didn't discuss this at all with me. And I said, this is something that you need to handle. And I noticed the same kiddo's behavior was it was even worse than it was the other day. I mean, he was actually beating up his other brother in the kids' room. So the behavior escalated because it was not dealt with by the parent. And and I just felt so bad. It was basically throwing a nugget to the first parent saying, hey, this is why your child is not behaving properly. You just told us what was happening, but because of his inability to handle his own emotions and childlike behavior and responses, he then didn't address it with his child, and the child got worse.
And that's what continues to happen. And then it pours over into a classroom.
Yes.
And then we attempt to have those conversations. So at least you get to have the parent right there. And you know that we're sending messages and phone calls.
With no response.
With no response oftentimes. And again, because it's hard to deal with.
Yeah.
It's really, and we know it's hard. We know it's hard. This is why we're giving you this. This is why we're here. You can always call us. You can call Education Inside Out, 910-541-4121. Shoot us an email through the website. Go to eduinsideout.org. And you can get connected because we know how to talk through these things. We're talking about things that not because we think about it, but because we know about it. We experience it
every day,
right? And that's why we get so, I still want to say excited. It's not really
passionate
about these topics because we're here for you.
Yeah.
We want to help you ensure the success of your children. It is not your child's teacher's job.
I'm just gonna get at that. Please expand on that.
Leo, you can join me. It's not your child's teacher. We are in locos parentis, which is Latin for in place of parent while they're at school.
However.
Okay, so we make sure they don't get hurt. We make sure that they eat according to the laws, and we teach them. However, it's important. You're making people dizzy. It's important for you to play your part. Leo identified it as kind of a pie. He broke it down during one of our recordings as a pie of the teacher's part, the parent's part, and the child's part.
Yes.
Yeah.
I sat in a meeting last week and a teacher said, and I loved hearing her say this, I was acting as an advocate, and she said, I tell my students that it's my job to teach, and their job is to be a student. Yeah. Their job is to learn. Their job is to show up, to pay attention, to learn. Not to do my job, not to discipline, not to reprimand, not to fuss at other kids. That's not their job. Their job is simply to show up, to pay attention, and to learn. Parents, your job is to train up your child in the way they should go. That is your job. I talked about the video from earlier about the parents making sure that the child understood. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, you can't leave out 4. You cannot talk back to teachers. Sometimes I say to children, is that what you do at home? And the sad part is, I have to accept that the answer is actually yes. Would your mom allow that from you at home is what I think. And then I realize, ooh.
Probably are.
And they want to answer, but they also respect and love you so much no matter your inattention. No matter that. They love and respect you so much because your name is mom or dad. No matter the issues that you have, they still cover you.
Mm.
That's not even their responsibility. But they still cover you. Your mom let you put your feet on the table, and they just quietly take their feet down because they're wondering, according to her face, apparently this is not the right thing I should be doing.
Probably should not be doing
Right? But they don't answer.
Yeah.
Which says, apparently, at my mama's house, I can
Mm-hmm.
put my feet in these different spaces with my shoes on.
Mm-hmm.
And what are you eating then?
Mm.
You left this mess in our classroom? Does your mom or dad or whomever allow for you to do this at home?
Mm.
The answer may be yes, and that's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
And I say these things, I'm not trying to come for you and dog you out and talk to you like you just don't know what you're doing. No, I just want to make you aware.
What's going on? Now, can we talk about how these behaviors could have started, right? Because I know in the research that you helped us gather as far as parenting styles, I found it fascinating because even though as a practitioner and a new mom, it's like, duh. But let's talk about these things. Most people don't realize that a difficult pregnancy or delivery, right? So as a pediatric chiropractor, you know, I'm always talking to moms, asking, you know, especially with mental health, how are you doing? What are your food cravings? How's home life? Do you feel like you have help? Do you feel like you have support? Because as a mother, you have no idea how important the state of your being is and its relation to an unborn child. They take on the stress.
Wow.
They take on the happiness. They take on your fears. They take on so many things because emotions cross that blood-brain barrier, right? And so if the child, you know, from day one has already been, you know, pretty, I don't want to say terrible, but challenging.
Challenging is the
right?
word. Challenging is the
There's
word.
something to that, right? I see it all the time. I can tell the moms that are very calm, very peaceful. They've got a similarly stable household, and their child is just so calm and peaceful. And I have to say, is this their normal disposition? They're like, yes. And so you can tell the difference between a mom who's stressed, maybe a single mom, didn't come from a healthy background herself, and then continuing that with her pregnancy, and you see that cycle happening. So if you are a parent and you see that within your child, think about, oh gosh, what was it like for them in utero? Can I unwind that? Yes, right? What about inadequate support from friends and family? If you're the only one doing the thing, your child sees you as both the lovey-dovey and the authoritarian, and no one else. So how are they supposed to respect authority from anyone else? I only listen to my mama. I don't know who you are.
You have to set that up. That's that training.
Yeah.
That's that take them out into the world and teach them. Take them to a park. Take them to an event.
Be respectful. Hold the door open. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Or however you want to train your child to respond to elders or other people. It's up to you as the parent to set that example and standard.
It is. You gotta be in. If you're not present, I have watched, y'all, in 2 different cities. I happened to be at a community center, and I watched parents drop off children and drive away. Drop them off for an event and leave.
Not walking in, no inspecting the situation.
You don't even know what's going on. You don't know who's in there.
Do they at least watch their child walk into the building?
I guess the second one did. The first one I don't remember because I stopped paying. I was, I get displeased sometimes about some things, and I just look at the human in the vehicle behind the steering wheel with a smile, and behind that smile is so many question marks. Like, what are you doing?
Why?
Why? Yeah, the why. Y'all see the why? Like, what's and whys are always. I'm always thinking it, and I'm not. And I keep saying I'm not trying to come for you, but. I mean, I'm sure it probably sounds like we are. You might feel some type of way.
But it's acknowledging things that are happening.
That's it. Because apparently up until now, it hasn't been identified or acknowledged.
No.
Or it has in your quiet time. Because I think you know You get the phone calls. You get the text messages, the emails, the reminds, the what they call them, those dojo things.
Yeah.
You get all of that information. You get it. You get the dings. You may turn off your notifications. You may fuss it. Let me tell you, listen. They get home. Why your teacher send me a message? Why you did, Mom, it was just this, and I didn't do that, and this, and then you turn around and they done flipped you, and now you mad at the teacher.
That happens a lot, right?
It does. And then you call us, and you mad at us, even though they the ones that told. And then you be like, oh man, he told me or she told me this and that. Yeah, they did. Because they knew what you are good at is being on their side. And they know that.
No one wants to know that your child is being that kid. But sometimes your child is that kid. So what are you going to do about it?
What you going to do? What you going to do? What are you going to do? Listen, here's one thing. Let me go ahead and give you, because we're going to wind down here. Let me give you something. We talked about all of the things. We always talk about all the things, and then we give you nuggets of things that you can do.
Yeah.
Spend time with your child.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
You got to set aside that phone for sure. We talked about that a long time ago. Put your phone down. Oh my goodness, I watched that happen so much. Oh my goodness, so many videos. And y'all, if you do the research that we're doing, the videos and things, just watching, y'all sitting out to eat, especially if you only have one child. And apparently they don't pay you enough attention because you just pick up your phone and they're eating and they're going, Mom, this and that, or Dad, this and that. And you just, and there's it. This is what's happening.
There's a reason why we have a sign in our office now, unless it's an emergency.
Put it down, just because.
Yeah.
And they're throwing things, and then you put your phone down. What are you doing? Are you serious? The rest of us have been watching your child do it for 5 minutes. You just chimed in. Like, we want to say, excuse, no, I want you. I don't know about anybody else. I would be like, excuse me.
Ma'am. Sir.
Because what I'll do is I'll eyeball you. I promise you. If you ever see my face around your children, know that you missed it. Because I'm looking at them like I wish you would do it again. I'm not going to yell at them. So people be like, don't say nothing to my child. That's my child. And I'll be like, yep. So I say nothing because you won't never ask me why I didn't say anything. Now, if you tell me why I'm looking at him, then you sound infantile because that's what the children, why are you looking at me? He was looking at me. You ask me why I'm looking, you should already know. If you see this woman, me, anywhere in the world, and I'm looking like, and your child, because normally the children, they stop and they look back at me like squirrels or something. They just stop and they look at me like, who is this lady and why is she looking at me like that?
We were watching.
Just know, what is it? I think I'm going to start something. Your child has been Tikisha Michelle. I need you. And listen, and I'm not the only human in the world that does it, but if you see me, if you see my face stuck, and then I look at you with a smile, just understand, I just caught your child doing something and you missed it because you were not what? Paying attention. I watch kids be about to kill each other in a cart. And the parent is just pulling the cart along like nothing else in the world matters.
Sometimes to maintain your sanity for that moment, you do have to ignore what they're doing. But at what cost?
But if you don't respond to it, then it will continue.
That's what I'm saying, at what cost? Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you say maintain sanity.
But it's really not.
That's a pain.
Yeah.
That has not been addressed.
Within you.
Right. And we need you to get that addressed. Because for the sake of the world.
Yeah.
The world, Tikisha Michelle? The world. Listen, your kids are a part of the society that we live in. They're a part of the community that you live in.
Yeah. Future decision makers, future bosses, future employees, future, people of this earth that we may have to rely on. But what if they're not in the mental state that we need them to be to make decisions on our behalf?
And not because there's something wrong with them, but because you were inattentive. Because so now they feel some type of way because my mom or my dad, my grandma, my auntie, whomever it was, who my caregiver was, did not have enough time
For me.
or the wherewithal
Yeah.
to focus on me, to show up for me. Well, then what? And I'm gonna tell you, like, really fast. Mama, I used to be jealous because my mom used to show up for my brother's football games because they were on Saturdays, right? But she had to work throughout the week, so my stuff happened during the week. And I'm like, why are we packing up lunches and junk to go watch a football game? Wasn't nobody there when I
You
got
should have
that
played a
ball
sport
over.
on Saturday.
Apparently, I should have played a sport on Saturday. And I was like, wait. So she was in her tiredness. So but I said it, right? I verbalized it. I didn't act a fool. I verbalized it. And what she'd do is on occasion she'd get off work and she'd come show up at a game and she'd be like, I gotta be like, I'm here, but I gotta go.
Yeah, that was my mom.
Right? And so for me, that was enough to look up in that stand and see your mommy there.
You she'll do her.
Right, and she did the go, and then she'd be like, "Okay, I gotta go," because I know she'd worked all day. I knew she was tired, but just those few moments, and she did it. And my mommy, and listen, she was single mommy during those times. So four of us at that time, right?
Talk that talk.
So it's possible. And I know mommies who make it happen no matter what.
Amen.
They make it happen without dogging out whoever the other parent is. I know dads who show up,
Come on.
even though they get off, they dragging.
Yeah.
Drag yourself there, just like you dragged yourself over after 11 o'clock in the night or after 10 o'clock in the night. You stayed too long somewhere, and now you have this creation. Give them the same energy that you showed up with to create them.
About to give you an offering now. Come on. About to get an offering. Yeah. Come on, Tikisha.
And with that, we have come to the end of our time today. That was just straight. That was a deposit. Thank you. I'm glad it's recorded because I need to write that one down. Anyway, thank you. Listen, y'all, we have enjoyed this time with you. We are Tikisha Michelle, Leo, Dr. Ada. We are here, Parent Empowerment for Everyday Living. We are going to be here with you every other Thursday live, and you can catch the replay on Thursday on the alternate weeks on our YouTube page. We're going to level up. There's going to be better. There's going to be more. But for now, we hope that you'll take these tools and use them to ensure the success of your children. We've enjoyed our time. Make sure that you are paying attention to your children. Check out the things that you're allowing and figure out why it is that you continue to allow them. Let's start making some changes for the sake of your children, for the sake of the community that you live in, and for the society that they're going to grow up and one day be in charge of. Thank y'all so much. We'll look forward to talking to you real soon. Put comments, share, like.
See you guys.
We need y'all. Bye-bye.
Bye.